Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Chapter 8, page of the Potions Master, page 134 to 136. Transfiguration is some of the most complex and dangerous magic you'll learn at Hogwarts, she said. Anyone messing around in my class will leave and not come back. You've been warned. Then she changed her desk into a pig and back again. They were all very impressed and couldn't wait to get started, but soon realized they weren't going to be changing the furniture into animals. For a long time, after taking a lot of complicated notes, they were each given a match and started trying to turn it into needles. By the end of the lesson, only Hermione Granger had made any difference to her match. Professor McGonagall showed the class how it had gone all silver and pointy and gave Hermione a rare smile. Class everyone had really been looking forward to was defense against the dark arts, but Quirrell's lessons turned out to be a bit of a joke. His classroom smelled strongly of a garlic, which everyone said was to ward off a vampire he had met in Romania and was afraid it would be coming back to get him one of these days. His turban, he told them, had been given to him by an African prince as a thank you for getting rid of a troublesome zombie. But they weren't sure they believed this story. For one thing, when Seamus the Finnegan asked eagerly to hear how Quirrell had fought off the zombie, Quirrell went pink and started talking about the weather. For another, they had noticed that a funny smell hung around the turban, and the Weasley twins insisted it was stuffed full of garlic as well, so that Quirrell was protected wherever he went. Harry was very relieved to find out he wasn't miles behind everyone else. Lots of people had come from Muggle family, and like him hadn't had any idea that they were witches and wizards. There was so much to learn that even people like Ron didn't have much of a head start. Friday was an important day for Harry and Ron. They finally managed to find their way down to the Great Hall for breakfast without getting lost once. "What have we got today?" Harry asked Ron as he poured the sugar on his porridge. "Double potions with the Slytherins," said Ron. "Snape's head of a Slytherin house. They say he always favors them. We'll be able to see if it's true." "Wish McGonagall favored us," said Harry. Professor McGonagall was head of a Gryffindor house, but it hadn't stopped her from giving them a huge pile of homework the day before. Just then the mail arrived. Harry had gotten used to this by now, but it had given him a bit of a shock on the first morning, when about 100 owls had suddenly streamed into the Great Hall during breakfast, circling the tables until they saw their owners and dropping letters and packages onto their laps. Hedwig hadn't brought Harry anything so far. She sometimes flew in to nibble his ear and have a bit of toast before going off to sleep in the owlery with the other school owls. This morning, however, she fluttered down between the marmalade and the sugar bowl and dropped the note onto Harry's plate. Harry tore it open at once. It said in a very untidy scrawl, "Dear Harry, I know you get Friday afternoon off, so would you like to come and have a cup of tea with me around here? I want to hear all about your first week. Send us an answer back with a Hagrid." Harry borrowed Ron's quill, scribbled "Yes, please. See you later" on the back of the note, and sent Hedwig off again. Was lucky that Harry had tea with Hagrid to look forward to, because the potions lesson turned out to be the worst thing that had happened to him so far. At the start of term banquet, Harry had gotten the idea that Professor Snape disliked him. By the end of the first potions lesson, he knew he'd been wrong. Snape didn't dislike Harry, he hated him. Potions lessons took place down in one of the dungeons. It was colder here than up in the main castle, and would have been quite creepy enough without the pickled animals floating in glass jars all around the walls. Snape, like the Flitwick, started the class by taking the roll call. And the Flitwick? He paused at Harry's name. Ah, yes, he said softly. Harry Potter, our new celebrity. Draco Malfoy and his friends Crabbe and Goyle. Snigger behind the can. Snape finished calling the names and looked up at the class. His eyes were black like a Hagrid's, but they had none of Hagrid's warmth. They were cold and empty and made you think of dark tunnels. You're here to learn the subtle science and exact art of potion making, he began. He spoke in barely more than a whisper, but they caught every word like a Professor McGonagall. Snape had the gift of keeping a class silent without effort. The end.